Hi everyone. Today I'd like to discuss about a topic that's been on my mind for a very long time. Is regarding to martial arts. I've always been questioned about whether it's like is there a point in learning martial arts in modern society? In that I meant not martial art for for physical health or mental health or the benefit that come of it, but I'm talking about purely for self defense. You know, basically, it, you know, of course, it's depend where you live, which country you live, which city you live, which town you live, your experience in life, how safe is the country or the place where you live. But because what I'm kind of asked this question is based on modern society now. In where I live in London, so or in the Western country, because there are weapons is available. Knives, even guns, and other weapons you can get, and the attackers who can attack you are kind of bigger than you. Also, they work in the attackers might be in twos, threes, fours, fives, gangs basically, and they all have weapons, or they will have weapons. Knives, like I said, knives and guns. In where I live in Britain, gun is illegal to have possession of a gun, but you can get it. If you've got the money, it's not that expensive neither. If you know the know-how anyway. There's always so much guns that we don't really know how many guns out there in Britain alone itself. So anyway, back to my point is that is it worth it to practice martial art? Because practicing martial art doesn't guarantee you doesn't get hurt. It doesn't guarantee that you will survive, and it's hard work to do martial art, and you have to be constant and consistent and disciplined, and to do it every day. That's why it's called an art. It's an art form. And you have to condition and kind of prepare yourself for the situation. Really, when it comes to it, I hope no one ever will face that situation of of someone attacking them, because it's a very horrific and horrific things to face and to experience. Because in life you don't expect that unless you live in a society where you expect it, and you kind of condition yourself mentally and physically for it, to prepare for what the worst outcome is. But like I said, practicing martial art, it does not guarantee you not to get hurt or survive the situation, but it does give you a chance. It does give you a chance to survive, and that, I think, is you have to consider for yourself. For me personally, I think it's worth it to practice it. But again, it takes a lot of your times, and you need a place to practice as well. And for those, also a financial cost as well. You have to go to a class and to pay for it. Not everyone could afford it in a sense. Everyone's different. Every situation is different. But you have to keep on constantly doing it. That's why it's called martial art. And it's an art form. But like I said, I'm talking about purely for self-defense. Not anything else. But like I said, we all have different experiences. But I did type in this this question on the internet, and this is what it comes up with. I will go through, like, on the first page of the internet anyway, and see what some people might say regarding this situation, and this is what I put in. this is what I put in. I said, is it pointless to learn martial art for self-defense in modern society when knives and guns are available? And this, the first page, this is one up. This is what, I mean, this is a page from Quora. I mean, I know Quora is something that people have a different opinion, but like I am willing to see what people say on the internet or their opinion, their experiences. So I'm not going to judge anything about it, whether right or wrong. It doesn't matter. Just like I said, this is what it comes up with. Like I said, you have to decide for yourself. Like I said, you have to do your own research. But this is what's come up. Okay, this person says, okay, what he wrote? Okay, this is obviously the question is: is it possible to legally? Is it possible to legally own a firearm? What's the point of learning martial art in the modern age for self-defense? Okay, this is what in the Quora said. This on the internet. Okay, so. Okay, what is it? So I understand you correctly. You're effectively asking this. Since a guy with a gun will always win a duel with a martial artist, what's the point of martial art? Okay, this is one of the questions it raised that similar to what I raised in a certain way, but this what this person says. So he's a self-defense instructor. Self-defense instructor. Yes, that's it. So this is what they say. Answer is, okay. So if I understand you correctly, you are effectively asking this. Since a guy with a gun will always win a duel with a martial artist, what's the point of martial art? Answer, as the question is poised, there's no point in doing martial art, which is true. I mean, like, I mean, at the moment, the gun is the most effective weapon to fight against a martial artist who's unarmed or even armed with a weapon, not a gun, but say, I don't know, a sword or whatever. So there's no contest. I mean, so what is the point? So this guy said. However, it's okay. He goes on. However, it turns out that life is complicated, which I agree, and there are several factors worth taking into account. Here I present my opinion as someone who has both done martial art for 15 years, as well as someone who likes to shoot as a hobby and has firearms on hand. So I assume this person could be living in America, somewhere that, or another country that allow to have, or legally to have, allows you to have weapons, which is, I mean, guns, basically, own guns, basically. So this is what he say about martial art. Okay, 1, he has 4 points. So I'm just going to read the first point. Martial arts are more than just learning how to fight, which is true, we know that. But I'm just, like I said, this topic or this subject I'm talking about just purely for self-defense, purely to survive in a situation where you don't want to be. I hope no one ever wants to be, but imagine you're in a situation, it's life and death. I mean, this is what I'm, like I said, kind of stating is that purely for self-defense, not about anything else, because martial art is not just about, say, self-defense or fighting, is it? We know it's a philosophy, it's a way of life for many people. And it's, physical, the benefit come off of physical, mental, everything else in life, Anyway, let's get back to it. Martial arts present you with, number 1. Martial arts are more than just learning how to fight. It's about controlling your body, being fit and healthy in mind as well as body. My karate training has saved my life twice. Most recently in the middle of Mongolia, not from violent people, but from a spooked horse that threw me off. Luckily, my training kicked in and I managed to catch myself textbook style, walking off with just a minor bruise. Well, with just minor bruises. No gun would help me there, but knowing how to fall did. Even if you have a gun, you'll be able to draw it faster and hand it better with a martial art. Okay, this way. Even if you do have a gun, you'll be able to draw it faster and handle it better with being a martial artist, with martial art. Well, yeah, which is true. Like the martial art, I mean, like if you learn martial art, if you know about martial art, like any physical sport, physical thing, is that your reaction be faster, physically and mentally. So like I said, let's not get into that. I mean, that last I'm just talking about for self-defense. Okay. It's very bad. So it's got two. Point 2, martial art present you with non-lethal options. I think for someone living in a civilized world, most situation can be solved without violence. I mean, I absolutely agree. I mean, that is kind of a, in a world that is a, I don't know. I mean, like this. That's the world everyone wants to live in, but in reality, it's not. I mean, people are complex. Human beings are very complex. I mean, there are all sort of type of people in the world: good, bad, ugly. I don't know, man. Good and bad. I mean, there's always good people and bad people everywhere, no matter where you are. So we cannot just say, "Oh, we live in a perfect world." That's a perfect world. That's I'm trying to say, really. But we are not living in a perfect world. Actually, we live in a very imperfect world. I mean, that's. Because some would argue that would make it interesting of the world, but I don't know. It's up to you to decide. Everyone have their own opinion. And even if not, those are usually plenty of... And even if it's not, there are usually plenty of chances where one can use a little violence as needed. Angry drunk attacks you. Pulling out a gun is a bit of overkill. But no one will frown at disabling him with your hands. If I'm ever getting robbed by a weapon-wielding person, well, simply give what I have. I don't walk around with diamonds in my pockets, and I'm not willing to kill, let alone risk getting killed over the content of my wallet. Of course, I mean, I absolutely agreed. I mean, if you're in a situation where you've been robbed, just give them your possession, basically, because no point getting killed, is it? I mean, you never know what they do. I mean, people, attackers, they don't really care. I mean, they don't care about the consequences in the first place, do they? I mean, not that much anyway, because they know that that's what they do in the first place. I mean, if a person attack you and rob you, I mean, they don't care. I mean, they have the reason. I mean, deep down they might be a little bit, but otherwise, no. I mean, they will just do whatever. So in a way, I agree. You just give them what they want, and just it's better to live another day, to survive in this world, and to getting killed for some possession, like money or whatever, jewelry. You can get it back. With a life, once it's gone, you're gone. I mean, you're gone from this world. That's it. So he made a very good point. Okay, so third. It's very bad if you make a mistake with a gun. Yes, I mean, absolutely. I mean, like, gun, isn't it? It's easy to pull a trigger, isn't it? Even you don't know how to learn how to shoot. Anyone, I think, anyone could, like I say, any fool could pull a trigger, isn't it? I mean, just point and pull the trigger, bang, bang. Quite easy to do, I mean, whether you hit the target or not, you might, and you might not, but it's easy to pull a trigger, isn't it? I mean, so it's very bad if you make a mistake with a gun. Yes, guns are useful if you very well. Okay. Yes, guns are useful if you know very well that you're doing. You know what you're doing. That's it. So yes, guns are very useful if you very well know what you're doing. Say, if your house is attacked by rapid zombie Nazis with large obvious labels, we are evil. But even in home invasions, IMO, the most favorable situation, there is a large risk of someone accidentally shooting the neighbor's kid returning drunk from a party or missing the house, punching or kicking him is still pretty bad, but at least he won't be dead on the spot. Not to mention that you're spooking actual robbers while holding a firearm makes you likely to get shot. Yeah, I agree. I mean, again, like I said, he talked about a place where you have guns available, basically. So yes, like I say, anyone, because human beings are very emotional. When you see things, when fear, you just shoot, isn't it? I mean, that's if you have it available, that's what it is. I mean, let's say when you have weapons that's so deadly as a gun available, I mean, it could cause very deadly harm as well. Okay, his fourth point is, do you really plan to carry a weapon on you all the time in your life? Well, yes, of course. I mean, no and yes. Yes, depend what country you live in, doesn't it? I mean, if you live in a dangerous country and if gun is your only weapon to defend yourself, to survive each day, you have to carry it. And why not? I mean, like I said, it just depends what country you live in. And I wouldn't like to live in a country, personally, I wouldn't like to live in a country that you have to carry guns and, to defend yourself, to be alive, for your own survival. I would hate it. It's like the wild west, isn't it? And that's very, to me, uncivilized. I mean, we live in a modern world. For me personally, I don't think any country should allow guns. I mean, guns is like I say, it's easy to pull a gun and to pull a trigger. But like I say, depend what country you. Like I say, that's just my personal opinion. It just depends what country you live in, isn't it? I mean, if some country you have no choice. I mean, if you if you don't, people will use against you. So it all depends. Like I say, it depends on the situation, basically. I'm not agree or disagree, but for me personally, I would like to live in a world that doesn't have weapons or guns and just survives a human being, basically. So how about places that don't allow weapons? Yes, like public libraries. With martial art you don't have. With martial art with martial art you don't only have your equipment always ready, but also the element of surprise. Again, it's very unlikely or to ever to have actually use your skills, same as with a gun, but the option's always there. I mean, yes, I mean in a way, but like I said, it just depends, isn't it? Like I say, everyone have their own opinions. I mean, their opinions come from what country they live in, the background, the society they live in, the laws and order they live in. It all depend, Okay, this is one person saying it. Okay, let's see if there's any more. What anyone else says. Okay, this person said. No, he said this person said in self-defense. Much of the time you are going to see 4 common themes. Okay, this is what he said the themes are. 1, surprise attack, chip shot. 2, person is armed. 3, more than one person. 4, large difference in body types between attacker and defender. Combination of the above circumstances. Yes, I mean, agreed. I mean, it's kind of, in a way, that's very true, in a sense. Like I say, it's all depend what country you live in, or depend what places you live in, cities and towns. But anyway, this is what he said. I wouldn't go any further than. You're going to see non-lethal. Yes. Okay, this person say, which okay, this is what this another person said. Okay. That's like asking, we have an atomic weapon, so why do we give you our soldiers guns? Okay, this person say, okay, I have trained martial art. Is great at few things. If you train under a good sensei, which is a master or instructor or teacher, so this guy talking about sensei, which is karate, basically. in Chinese martial art called Sifu. So you would learn how to avoid a fight rather than jump the gun, pun intended, and hurt others or yourself. Yes, I mean, in martial art, I mean, like I say, I'm speaking for myself really, but depend who you are. But in martial art, the first thing you learn is not to fight. I mean, it might contradict. I mean, if you don't understand martial art, I mean, that's what it is. People think that. I know a lot of public who doesn't do martial art. They watch martial art movies and they see things. They think that learning martial arts is about fighting. Because they see MMA, like I say, even boxing as well. They think that anything physical, like especially martial art defense, they think it's all about fighting, which is in a sense about fighting. But if you learn the martial art, it's not about fighting. It's not about fighting at all. You try to avoid fights. That's the whole point. In martial art, that's why it's called self-defense. You avoid. You only use it when your life in a situation where your life is threatening, or a situation threatening that you're able to, able to stand a chance, some chance, or even a slim, you're still able to have a chance to survive. Which it teaches you discipline. Absolutely. It's a great physical workout. No need for the gym. Yes, of course. I mean, as I always believe, any physical activities, whether it's martial arts, sports, or anything, I mean, it will benefit you physically and mentally and everything else. It also teaches you how to disarm your opponent. Yes and no, depend. I mean, if a person have a knife or any other weapons going to kill you, you're not going to disarm them, are you? You're going to try to fight for your life. Sometimes in the moment, emotional, it's like fight or flight situation. You will try to defeat a person, even end their life. Because if you don't end their life, they end your life. So what do you want to do? You want to die? Or you think the other person, or I say, depend what the situation is. I mean, it's not like learning martial arts is not about, you're expert, you disarm people. No. I mean, the situation, when you face a situation with a person with a weapon, especially a knife, I'm not talking about guns, a knife or any other weapon, it's impossible to disarm them almost, because they're going to wield a weapon, you stab you and going to kill you basically. Their intention is to kill you if they wish to use it. So I kind of disagree in a sense in that way. I mean, in ideal world, perfect world, yes. We try to disarm people, not to, so that we, not to kill them or they or harm them or they harm you. But in reality, it's different. It's like watching a martial art movie, isn't it? You see the hero beats people like he's a superhero, but it's not. In real situation, fights are ugly and horrible, and it's dirty. It's all about survival. You use every means to survive, whether it's martial art or anything else, like human instinct. You bite them, you headbutt them, whatever. Anything, anywhere, anything to survive. Really, it's not about disarm them and be light and polite, being polite. No. You are facing life and death situation, survival, and you need to do whatever you need to do to survive. That's it. That's it. So I kind of no. Okay, it's this way. It also teach you how to disarm your opponent. So in close combat, the gun would be rendered useless or turn against you. No, I mean, no. I kind of disagree, because I mean, no matter how much you train about disarm people, whether guns or knives or guns, no. I mean, I would. I don't know. I mean, it's just something I don't think. I think people like thinking that they put martial art ahead of weapons, which is I disagree. I think weapons are always ahead of martial art, no matter what sort of weapons you use. It's always like knife and guns, always ahead, no matter what. Because with martial art, you only have your hands and legs or any other body part. I mean, as human beings, look, we just got clothing and skins. I mean, a weapon could just pierce it. A gun just, a gun. I mean, that's just my personal opinion. Okay, what's the other point? Like, is his other point. It's a great method of learning calmness of your mind. You need a clear mind in your combat, even with a gun. Yes, I agree with that, because in a situation where you don't panic, where you're calm, you assess the situation, and definitely, and I think that's not just martial art, that's just in life in general. Okay, what is the other point? It really takes a lot of guts to fire a gun to another living person. If you hesitate and close enough, as well as trained martial art, you've lost. Not really. I mean, the people that use the guns, I mean, I don't know about you, but they have a motive for using that gun. It's easy to pull a trigger, depending what country you live in. If you never possess a gun and don't use it, yeah, it's true. It's like me as well. I mean, I never possess any type of guns, but it's quite scary when you use a gun, because you're conscious that if you pull the trigger, you could kill someone. But if you live in a society where guns are available and it's a norm, I mean, you don't think like that. It's like having a knife. I mean, if you never use a knife or never come across with a knife, and you know that the knife kill people, yeah, you'll be fear, isn't it? But now, knife we've got everywhere. Dangerous weapons like knives. Well, I mean, you got knives that are very dangerous. Then you got the knives, domestic knife. Knives in the kitchen. I mean, there are some very sharp knives, and I mean, because we got used to it, people see it, so it's not. You wouldn't be afraid of it because it's the norm. But like I say, when you have a gun, or you live in a country that doesn't have a gun, yes, I believe that what he said, but in reality, it isn't. People have possessed guns. They have a motive, and they're going to use it, and because they have their motive is whatever, to rob you, or to for other purpose, or if you chase them, they're going to, you know what I'm saying. It's all depend on the situation, basically. I agree and I disagree in a sense. Okay, let's continue. He said, I would rather walk tall, proud without a gun than have one and hesitate using it. I do not have a kill mentality and would hesitate. I would defend and do my best to control a situation than go for the kill. Note that I have witnessed a guy that got shot on the leg, maybe because of the adrenaline. The guy got more aggressive and stronger, so a gunshot is not going to control a situation all the time. A well-aimed heart shot might. So the question is, do you have the mentality? Yes, I mean, like I said, depend what country you live in, the city or the place you live in, city and towns, the law and orders of the country, the mentality of the culture. I mean, like I said, he seemed to live in a country that have guns, or I'm guessing, yeah, but legally able to possess guns, basically. But I don't know. I mean, kind of disagree and agree with this person's assessment of it. I mean, he made some very good points about it, but like I say, everyone have opinion, and their background. Okay, I mean, these are just some of the people saying in Quora. I know, and I mean, like, people, everyone have their opinions, but let me see if there's any more. Okay, this Reddit, another one. Is it worth learning martial art for self-defense? Okay, let me see what it says. Okay, this person says, is it worth learning martial art for self-defense? Hello, everyone. Question for some... This was a hello, everyone's question may seem a bit stupid, but I feel like I have some valid questions. I recently was at a confrontation in London. So this person lived where I live, in London. So anyway, he said, where someone had their arms around me, grabbing tight, and essentially tried to rob my phone. I kept saying no until the point where two men with a dog entered the park, at which point he said he was joking and left. I feel horrible, as if those two men didn't enter the park, and he was not more of a forceful than when I would have happened. I feel horrible, as if those two men didn't enter the park, and he was more forceful than what I would have then what would have happened. So my question is this: is learning something like Muay Thai going to be worth it for self-defense reason like this? Actually, and it may seem like obvious, yes, but genuine question. If you had used a weapon or knife all of a sudden, and I started fighting instead of just giving him my stuff, then would anything different happen apart from me potentially dying? To me, when getting robbed seems like fighting is pointless, since you'll usually either be outnumbered, they have weapon, which I should clarify, he would have a knife in his trousers. I don't want to feel like this again, but I'm just thinking, would a martial art even stop scenarios like this again? To me, it seemed like sprinting is the best martial art to learn, to be honest. I absolutely agree. I mean, just run. I mean, that's the whole point. Martial art is not a silver bullet. It's not the magic potion. It's not. You have to understand that. That's the whole point about martial art, is that martial art gives you a slight chance of survival. Better than no chance. I mean, in a situation like that, if people rob you, just give them whatever they want and leave. I mean, it's hard. Human being is, as we know, is like, you cannot, you cannot fight or flight situation. You kind of almost got no control over it. It's about survival. So you need to, in a situation like that, it's rather than to fight or anything, and just give them, in the robbery anyway, just give the robbery what they want and walk out surviving rather than dead. I mean, I agree what he said, but what I kind of thinking that what he said is that because the experience he have now, he can take up martial art. I mean, that's what most people do, isn't it? When something happened, then they do something about it. I mean, that's again, as human beings, we all do that, isn't it? When something happened, then I wouldn't say it's too late. I mean, you realize, isn't it? I mean, but if he's training martial art, he might not end in that situation. He might be aware that someone might follow him, so he might walk faster and get out and walk out of the park or situation where he doesn't face that problem, where he walk, like I say, he might aware of the situation, and he will just leave and just get out of the situation and will not face that situation. I mean, even they think that if you do martial art, you can fight back. Yes, in a way, but you shouldn't fight back. I say, don't risk your life for something like possession, like money and jewelry. No point. Your life is more important in this. In my opinion, in this life, your life is the most important things on this planet, as far as I'm concerned. If you're dead, what's the point? For a start, if your family rely on you, if you're the breadwinner, I mean, if you have wives and kids, are you going to waste your life and try to prove how tough you are, or how you fight some robber and then you die from it, or you just survive and look, and look after your family and try to live as long as possible and enjoy the time with your family while you can on this earth, But anyway, like I say, everyone's different. But I think, this person made a good point. I mean, he or she's probably a he, like experience this situation. I mean, it's very difficult for people not experience situation in life, isn't it? To face situation, then they have the experience to say what they want to say, and it's valid. Okay, see, anyone answer him? Okay, this person say, some basic body mechanics, weapons, striking, locks, etc. are nice to have, but generally not being a moron is the way ahead, and putting life over ego or stuff. I mean, that is that's one about this person's very wise. I mean, that's what it's all about. It's about surviving, isn't it? Not trying to be, tough and macho and ego and I could fight. No, I mean, the whole point is survive. For me anyway, survival. I mean, like I said earlier, what I mentioned, if you're in a situation where you can't get out, you have to do everything to survive, whatever it is. Whatever it is, use any means. I mean, any means or method to survive. I mean, I don't care if you have weapons on you, use it. If you have any sort of anywhere weapons on the side, see on the side, and you just pick it up and use it. Don't be afraid. I mean, I know it's hard. In a situation, it's hard to think, but you have to have in your mind, you have to survive, and that's it. Whether to run, whether to fight, whatever. Survival is the most important thing. Your survival. Okay, so this guy's very wise. He said, I was taught around 2 to 3 years or 2 to 3 times a week at martial art class to give you I was taught around 2 to 3 years of 2 to 3 times a week at martial art class should give you the confidence to get into a situation you can't handle. Yes, I mean, depend. It's all depend, isn't it? Okay, this another person answering said, generally, yes, regular training is a legitimate martial art, or training in a legitimate martial art or combat sport will put you above the majority of the population and defensive capabilities. As for picking that art or sport, here's what to do. Imagine your personal most probable worst case scenario. Start evaluating your option based on how well equipped they are to get you out of the scenario. Yes, I mean, some very wise and intelligent people giving very good answers. I mean, I agreed, definitely. I mean, there's another person saying, robbers would generally avoid hot targets, and from having the body language of someone who knows how to fight, you may less likely to be victims in the first place. Yes, true. I mean, if the robbers only by themselves, it's true. But if they're in gangs, they don't care what size you are. You know what I mean? So it all depends. I mean, if just one robber versus you, yes, of course. If you're not confident, and what gives the robbers confidence that they have weapons on them, whether it's knives or guns or any other weapons, because as you know, if you carry a weapon, you feel more confident, superior than someone who doesn't. You think about it. Imagine you walk the street with a weapon, and you think that other people doesn't have weapons. You will feel powerful. It's like because you think that you're able to defend yourself or fight or to defeat other people. I mean, if you've got a gun as well. I mean, if you have a gun, I mean, even more powerful. And that's what it is. That's why people, think like that. I mean, have the mentality of that. That's why they carry weapons. They feel they're more superior, powerful, able to take you down. I mean, like I said, depending what country you live in, as I said earlier. If you're able to possess weapons, such as, for example, in America, I mean, as far as I know, there is in the amendment that they're allowed to have legally to carry weapons. I'm not sure every state, but I know majority of the states, they are. It's in the Constitution. So, yes, I mean, these are some of the people's opinions of it. I mean, like I said, it all depend. Like I said earlier, it all depend what country you live in, what city or town or place you live in, what the laws and orders of the country, the safety as well. I mean, it's all depend. But for me, as far as I'm concerned, martial art, whether you live in a country that's, people carry weapons or not, or country that carry weapons, a country doesn't, I think you should do martial arts or any sport or any physical activity. But for me in particular, martial art, Chinese Kung Fu, I think for me, Kung Fu is, it's like I say, apart from the self-defense thing we talk about today, but if you see the benefit of martial art, it prepares, the benefit of it is for me is amazing, and also, but the thing is with martial arts that it's very, you need to have a lot of discipline and commitment to it. You have to practice every day, in a sense. If you can. Not in a perfect world, yes. Even not a perfect world, you have to keep on constantly, practice it. If you don't, you will lose that sharpness, that discipline, the consistency, that resilience, and physically and mentally. But like I said, this is what I think anyway, and this is what some of the people say on the internet. Like I say, everyone have their own opinions. Everyone have their experiences, background, and But this is what I think anyway. And what do you think? Anyway.